Today I'm going to tell you a story about, like, I chose a title for Decoding Dreams, the day of a marketing analyst life. So we'll start from now. So in terms of who I am, my name is Shahim Mishikari. I currently work at Ascentech as a data and insight analyst. Ascentech is a company, it's a full service end-to-end digital transformation solution in healthcare industry. I'm from Iran, aka Persia. You might have no idea about that, but that's in Middle East. We speak in Persian. I started my career when I was 16. I was a student at high school as a graphic designer. Like in the summer, I just started going to graphical software classes like Photoshop, Illustrator. At that time, it was CorelDRAW, and I, just started designing some stuff for my school. And the place I went to print offered me some like part-time jobs as a student. And then, as my bachelor and master's degree, I studied industrial engineering in Iran. Then I decided to come to the US in August 2021, and I started my second master's degree in marketing and business analytics at CAT. So the stuff I do in a day as a marketing analyst or data and insight analyst, based on Google course, if you are curious about data analytics and want to grow your root in data analytics, I recommend you to go to Grow Google website and register for data analytics course. That's from the beginner level. You can go there. They have a category, they define the data analytics process in 6 steps: ask, prepare, process, analyze, sharing, and act. I normally simplify everything I learn, and I think we can say data analytics can be in these 4 steps. The first step starts from understanding the request. So every day I turn on my laptop, I have a request, and that request means that my boss, the stakeholders, or anyone who's responsible in that team might have a question, and they ask from us as data analysts. So that question needs to be understood. If you don't understand the question, the business context, how you can find a solution for it or analyze that. So that's the very first step, and I think one of the most important. The second step, so Google has 2 steps as prepare and process, but I think we can merge them into one, and it's collecting data, storing data, finding a way to manage that data, cleaning data, and that, this whole process, especially cleaning data, is 80% of the time you spend in data analytics. And the step 3 is analyze. Your job here in this step is finding the patterns, connections, predictions, or everything that is related to that request, that question. The tools you have can be spreadsheets, SQL, that's a query language. SQL is structured query language. Mathematical and statistical knowledge, charts and graphs, Python and R. These are the coding language that you can use for your analysis. And step 4 is visualization your findings. After you play with the numbers, columns, finding the patterns, and everything you have in each of these tools you're using, then you need to translate it into a visualized way, so your leaders, the leadership can understand that. They don't have time to do whatever you're doing. If they wanted to do that, they wouldn't hire you. So you need to summarize everything you found into these 3 tools. You can use these 3 tools: Google Looker Studio, Microsoft Power BI, or Tableau. These are the main tools in data visualization. And in overall, you need to be a detective if you want to be a data analyst. You just need to find. You need to be suspicious to every single thing that you see. You couldn't let it go. You just need to be just deeper and deeper and deeper. Any questions so far? Good.
How advanced do you need to be in those programming languages to get started in this field?
If you asked this question 1 year ago, I would say 50%. But now I say 10%. As long as you know the syntax, as long as you know what's going on in that language and how's the grammar of that language, like the other languages, we have ChatGPT and Gemini. So I brought some examples of what I did, and I censored some of the data because of the NDA I signed. So that's a Looker Studio view of Google Analytics that is connected to the Google Analytics. GA4, now we're using GA4. As you can see, that gives a holistic view of what's happening in the website. From the total users, new users, page views, the sources, medium, channels, and the views, like, for example, if they want to send an email or do something related to their website, which day so far has the best view, highest view. The other tool, as an example, I brought, and that's, I mean, what I love in my job is that I love automating the process. Like, I'm a super lazy person, and I always find the easiest and the most automated way to do stuff, and that's a ton of time for me. And this one is as an interactive, so you can choose the date, whatever you want, and then by choosing each of those sources, you can see the rest of it. So it's completely interactive. This is an example for email marketing campaigns and what you can do. So every email you send, every subject of email you send, you have these KPIs, how many you sent, how many of them delivered, how many of them were opened or clicked, and besides those, unique opened, unique clicks. In website, we have CTR. In email marketing, we have CTOR, which is the rate of opening, a click-through open rate. For this particular campaign, we needed to calculate the clicks on managed subscription. We wanted to see how many are trying to unsubscribe us, so we stopped having business with them. Like the CTAs, the buttons we have in the email is also one of the other things that we wanted to track, see which of them has the highest. And we had a benchmark to compare this particular, each of them is a subject of email. So we wanted to have something to gauge with, you know. And also, as a part of my job, I had to add insights. So, you know, I censored some of it, and I just added my analyze and insight to this one. This one is a Google Ads campaign view. You can see, like in that particular range of date range, you can see how many clicks, impression you have for each campaign. This is your campaign list. I only had that was a test, so that was secure to bring here. That's why I took the screenshot. But if you had more, it would be a long list, and then you can manage those campaigns. And Google recently added, not really recently actually, an AI campaigns, AI way to create campaigns, which is the Performance Max. They call it Performance Max. That's what you just define your target, and it generates your ads by AI. And what is important in Google Analytics is the quality score that has three main components: expected click-through rate, ad relevance, and landing page. And also bidding is another important component for your campaigns to be seen. You might think that, okay, Excel is just a table, you add formulas, but Excel can be also a data visualization tool. You can create an interactive dashboard only by Excel, and the way that I transposed the data, the table I had, in a way that I can have this look in Excel was something that, you know, demanded a lot of time for. And yeah, they can easily, by clicking the organization ID or the name, the organization name they are looking for, they can see the sales trend or calls trend and see if their sales people are doing well or not calling enough, or they need to be, you know, pushed. So I just, you know, try to keep it brief and tell you what I am experiencing in these days, which is so exciting for me. You know, I tried different areas, as I said: graphic design, digital marketing, industrial engineering, and now data analytics. I think the intersection of all these areas was data analytics. I'm using my graphic design skills to design these dashboards and have a better look, easier, or better user interface. I use my industrial engineering knowledge, which added to like my analytical skills. My marketing knowledge makes me understand the questions they have in marketing field. And all of these, so there are two ways. What's the average of the age here?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say
21?
21, 22 years old.
21,
I guess.
See, that one was the data analytics feature. So, you have two ways moving forward. You can explore different areas and don't care if you don't have a constant job and going to work and get back home, like secure job and all this stuff. You can start working different areas and kind of give up that feeling of having a permanent job, or you can choose one area and get deep in it. What I did was trying different areas. I suffered a lot from that. I never, before becoming a data analyst, I always had the challenge, okay, what's the best job I can do in my life? But now I can understand that. But before that, it was painful for me to understand which one is the best, which of these jobs I've tried is the best one for me. So that one recommendation, not recommendation, just clearing the path for you, that you have two options, you can choose either of them. And the other one, which I really recommend you, is, I don't know when in your life, but I strongly recommend you to go abroad and live 3 years outside of the US to understand what you have and appreciate what you have here. And that's why I wrote this one. Pain doesn't necessarily make you stronger, but change will definitely make you stronger. You know who's this quote is? No? Showing the Great.
I'm sorry, who?
Showing the Great. I just wrote it.
Showing the Great.
Yeah, and you can scan this QR code to connect me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer. And I go this way.
So obviously, in any organization, there's a lot of politics behind the scenes. Has there ever been a time in your career when your findings and your data suggested one thing, but leadership might not want to follow your recommendations? And how do you go about that?
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great question. First of all, about policy. I have no policy in my mind. Like, I am an open book to everyone. So that's one of the challenges I always face. That I suggest something that comes to my mind and I think that's the right thing, but they are thinking another way. It really depends on your position at that time. If you have the authority, you definitely need to stay. I'm just talking about in terms of the professional side. Like, if, for example, I can explain this with this example. If I want to grow my child, raise my child, I tell what's the bad and what's the good. But if he or she try to do whatever they want, I'll let them do. To understand, okay, and especially if I'm confident. So that's what I do. At my job, I always compromise with other people's opinion. I don't insist on anything because I always have this, I always think that there's a chance that I'm wrong.
Why don't you just talk about your time at CATS and the degree? So you came here and you went through the master's MS in marketing science, which is essentially a master's degree in marketing analytics. There we all are. What were the subjects that you covered in that degree program, and what did you find about the degree program that perhaps was particularly useful going forward, or particularly not useful?
Right, that's a great question. So I already had a marketing course when I was back home. After I changed my career from graphic design to digital marketing, I took different courses in digital marketing, from strategy, social media, and I think you two are the social media people, right? I saw you on the social media page. So, I took different courses. So my program was not only marketing science, was marketing science and business analytics. We had two parts in our program. The marketing science part, I already knew each course I had, I already knew them, and I was bored, to be honest, in those classes. But for the second half, which was completely analytical part, I loved my Python class, and it was my first time I learned Python at the school. I don't know if you remember, you heard this so far or not, but everyone say that at a school you just get the context. You know, you don't get professional in that area. But I think Python, I love my Python class and my professor. That was one of the ones that I really liked. And my analytical skills, which I already had a part of it from industrial engineering, but it was empowered at CATS by the second half of the program.
I'm going to ask you guys to come up with a question or two. If you have to head out soon, I get that. If you go back to the example, back to the Google Analytics example, could you fill in just go forward? Sorry, was that actually the? I'm sorry, I did say Google Analytics. I meant the Google Ad. Yeah. What? Can you give us just a little bit of background on what the campaign was? And you know, you don't have to cross any lines, but you know, I'm kind of interested in the fact that you know, you spend $207, which is not a lot of money.
Yes.
Yet you have 250,000 impressions, which meant that the ad served 250,000 times. Yet, and you had this 7,500 plus clicks.
Right.
What was the campaign? What were you trying to achieve in the campaign?
So this one. So before I came to the US, I launched a startup with one of my friends. That was a jewelry online shop, and I did like every single elements of that business, like from the photography, brand identity, like every single part of that business I did by myself in terms of marketing. In terms of a technical part, my friend did. So after I came here, he wanted to run a Google Ads campaign, and we wanted to just test. That was for the online shop, jewelry online shop. And yeah, and the reason I mentioned that was the AI-based campaign, and the reason we got a lot of impression was because of that. I mean, Google optimized their own campaigns based on the clicks received, views, and everything. So it optimized itself. And also, when you have different campaigns, my first job that I said, that one offer I received, I was digital marketing manager in PPC, pay per click, which was exactly related to Google Ads campaigns. My job was taking care of 20 clients, and each of them had, on average, 3 or 4 Google Ads campaigns, and that was my job there. So we needed to, you know, have an eye on each of those campaigns and see if the keywords we define are working well, if they're receiving views, if they're receiving clicks, and based on every each of those campaigns target, we needed to optimize. And that's a part of this job. So for this campaign, as I said, it was just a test, but I think, as I remember, I did optimize that for like 2 times as you see, the timing also was from June 20 to July 6th. It was only in 2 weeks almost. So I didn't have that time to take that. That's the reason I copied this. Wasn't so sensitive data.
Yeah.
You said that like 80% of the time goes to just like cleaning the data. Do you think like in the future maybe like AI could like help out with that?
I have tried multiple times. With the current technology we have in AI, I tried to do that with AI. I wasn't able. The best I could do with AI was finding the right code in Python, which, as I said, the automation is my favorite area. So that saved me a lot of time by writing the codes, getting the proper code to clean that data for the cleaning process. So, for example, every time I have this, that's actually a really good example. Every time I have this request, that was a request that took, I think, 2 days for me to clean the data to get this view and transform the data to get this view. But now with Python, I'm doing in 15 minutes. What we can do with AI so far is coding, I guess. But maybe some people design a software AI-based that can clean the data. But the thing is, this process, even in the Google course, they say if you want to only trust data, you might miss something. And I think even in the most advanced AI technology, we still need human intuition and understanding and interpretation. I think even if we get that point, if we get there to have a technology that can be cleaning, we still need a human to review that. That's my own opinion.
else?
You mentioned you were a graphic designer.
Mhm.
Do you miss like kind of the creative side that you got with that job, or do you still feel you can be creative with like your plans?
I forgot like a lot of part of. For example, I wanted to edit my sister's photo on Photoshop. I forgot a part of it. Yeah, I missed. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I really missed that. But I think I am satisfying a part of that sense here by designing the dashboards. You know, I still have that thing in my job, I guess.